if you want to feel better about yourself and quit the mum guilt, then this is the video for you. I don't know why I'm making this video, but you are going to feel like the best mum ever after you finish watching this, because today I'm going to be sharing with you guys all the things that I should probably do as a mum that I don't do. Let me know in the comments below, what is the one thing you do not do for your kids that society expects of you? Especially if you feel a bit of guilt for not doing these things. Let's see if there are other mamas out there who also do not do the thing that you think you should be doing. Hello, if you are new here, my name is Marissa. Welcome. I would love for you to like this video and subscribe. There have been times in my motherhood journey where I have had 2 under 2, 3 under 3, 4 under 4, 5 under 6, and I had to figure out what was really important to me and the things that mattered to me, and then let go of a bunch of things. Without further ado, let's get into the first thing I don't do as a mum. The first thing I do not do is bathe my kids every night. I do bathe them most nights. However, when I do bathe them, I actually don't wash most of them either. So for my 6 and 5-year-old, they are now at the point where they know how to wash themselves properly. I of course will check on them and like ask them, have you washed this body part and this body part? They can turn on the shower themselves, they wash themselves and they hop out. Not bathing my kids every night is most common when I have a newborn, but on a typical week I do think I bathe them about 5 to 6 times. But if they have had a big day or I'm really tired, honestly I don't care. Like, go to bed. I don't even put them in their pajamas, I don't wipe their feet. Call it gross or whatever, but honestly their beds aren't stink or dirty, and so I'm okay with it. The second thing is, when I have newborns, I especially do not bathe them. Again, controversial, but newborns don't do anything, they just sleep. I do find that when you are in the breastfeeding stages, I do tend to bathe my newborns more because the breast milk goes into the neck, especially when it's like they first latch and it's everywhere and stuff. But once they are on bottles, I will bathe them anywhere from like 2 to 3 times a week, honestly, and they've been fine. Nearly every single mum out there is going to tell you, once you have children, especially toddlers, make sure you never leave the house without snacks. When it comes to my household, we do have a lot of kids to feed, and so I try not to buy them many pre-packaged snacks. 1, for the health, but 2, it's expensive. They eat it all up within a couple of days, so it's just a waste of money. So anytime we leave the house, if I know other kids are going to be having food there, I will just grab whatever packet things I have, chuck it in the car, and then if they get annoying and they want to eat while we are out, I will give that to them. However, if we are heading out somewhere by ourselves, like the playground, going for a walk, going to the beach, unless we are going for longer than 2 hours, I don't bother with that. Here's another bonus one that I didn't even write down. I do not take their own water bottles. There are so many of them, and so there are too many bottles to keep track of. So all I do is, I have like 2-liter water bottles lying around my house. I fill that up and I take that out with us, and everyone shares. As long as no one is sick, we all share our germs, and that way I am just carrying around 1 bottle instead of 6 for all of us. I do not read to my newborns. Now, there are so many studies, and it's proven, you can't argue with it, that reading to your newborns and children out loud is so important for their speech development, their awareness and their language, and basically everything. It is so important to them, but honestly, I never read to my newborn. When my youngest, she was a preemie, when she was in the NICU, all we could do is read to them, and I struggled. I love reading. I hate reading out loud. It's a big struggle for me, but I haven't done it, and my older 3 children are now in school. I homeschool 2 of them. The other one is in public school. They're all super smart. They learn to speak a bit slower. However, now, like, they're just normal kids. The next thing I do not do is I do not respond or cater to my kids' desires every single time. I have learned that I can't please my kids all day long. If I was to do that, there is no way I would get anything done in my home for myself. There are certain times in the day where mummy is off limits. For example, right now, I am filming this video and my kids are watching a show out in the living room. I have been interrupted a few times by my 2-year-old because he is yet to understand that this is a time where you don't interrupt mummy. However, all of my other kids, they know that if mummy is filming a video, they have to be quiet, and anything they need or want, unless there is an emergency, they cannot come to me and interrupt me right now. If I am having a quick 10-minute break, I do this frequently, however much I need to throughout the day, because I can get really snappy and emotional, especially on the week before my monthly period. And so I have just learned to take a lot of little breaks throughout the day. If I need to lock myself in the room, I do. I make sure that the kids are safe out there. And I would just tell them, listen, mummy needs a 2 to 5 minute break right now. You are not to interrupt me unless it's an emergency or someone has a knife or there's a fire. Do not come and knock on my door. My kids have learned that when it is mummy's time, they are not to interrupt. The next thing is, I do not do everything for my kids. As soon as they are possibly capable of doing something for themselves, I train them to do it. Basically, this training starts as soon as they can walk. My kids' first job, usually around 1.5 to 2 years old, is they are to put away their toys and they help mummy put away the dishes. That is their first 2 jobs they always learn, and then from there the ball keeps rolling. They eventually learn how to brush their own teeth, how to wash their own body in the shower, how to make their bed, how to vacuum their rooms, how to wipe up my floors. So after dinner each night, I give the kids each different jobs, and all of my children, my 2-year-old, my 4-year-old, 5 and 6, they all have jobs, and we clean up the area together as a team. And it has been this way always. Even when my kids were 1 and 2 years old, they were helping mummy clean because they are a part of the family. And what that does is it allows me to have more time to do other things in the home because they are more independent and capable at such a young age. I also did baby-led weaning with all my children except my youngest right now. I have reasons for that, but so teaching themselves how to eat. I do not know how mothers still feed their children and their kids expect their parents to feed them because they are so used to being spoon-fed. Not in this household. As soon as you are capable of eating, you are sitting in your high chair and you are eating whatever you want by yourself. It does make a lot more mess, but I'm okay with that. And now that my kids are a bit older, I'm always getting compliments about how independent they are and how capable they are, because I've just taught them and given them the freedom and the confidence to do things by themselves. The next thing I do not do for my children is be really strict on their education until they are 7 years old. If you are not a homeschooling mom, you probably won't really get this. It has been proven that children should learn through play till they are about 7 years old. And that is when their brain develops into the next phase and they are able to comprehend abstract ideas. And so with my own children, while they do start kindy at home with me at 4 years old, as long as they are playing, I am not fussy with making them sit down at the table and do any sort of bookwork. I do try to do a bit of language arts and math. Those are the 2 subjects that they need to spend at least 5 minutes on for my 5-year-old and 10 to 15 minutes on for my 6-year-old. Once they have done those 2 things, I am hands off. If they look bored, I will suggest if we do some other subjects like nature study or science. But if they are busy playing, then by all means, I let them do their thing, because children learn the most when they are learning through play. Because they have so many peers with their siblings, they are constantly interacting and learning that way as well, learning communication skills and teamwork, and a lot of social skills happen just through the 4 of them playing together. Which leads me to the very last thing that I could think of that I don't do for my children, and that is I do not play with them. I have recently met a lot of mums who are really hands-on with their kids, and it is so admirable to me because
really
I
do not enjoy
like
playing
that,
with
nor
your
have
kids.
I ever been
You
like
don't
that.
have
And
to.
so if you are especially a new mum and you really do not enjoy playing with your kids, you don't have to. there are no rules. In fact, there has been studies proving that children don't need their mothers to play with them in order for them to bond with them on a certain level. So it has been proven that children release oxytocin in their bodies when they play with their fathers. However, that hormone isn't released in them when they're playing with their mums. It's very different. The time that oxytocin is released when it comes to the relationship between the child and the mother is when the mum is nurturing them. So if your child hurts themselves and you are caring for them and tending to their emotional and physical needs, your child is going to bond with you on a special level. Don't feel bad if you don't play with your kids. My kids have a lot of siblings, so it's not a big deal in my own household. If you only have one child, I can imagine that is a bit trickier. So my solution would be just have another one, and then they have a friend to play with, so they are not relying on you. I do also want to put it out there, my husband is incredibly good with playing with them. In fact, he probably enjoys play more than they do. So my kids are not missing out on anything when it comes to the play aspect in our home. I don't play with my kids either, and I have a lot of them, so if I don't feel guilty, you shouldn't feel guilty either. Those are the few things that I do not do for my kids. I will leave it at that. There is probably a ton more, but to save my reputation a little bit, I will leave them for perhaps another video. If you enjoyed this video, I would love for you to like and subscribe. Don't forget to leave a comment down below telling me what is the thing that you do not do as a mum that is probably expected of you. I would love to know, because that's just really interesting to me. And with that, I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!